Right. How's everyone doing? You guys had a good time today? You guys were inspired, encouraged. So there was a lot of powerful messages displayed today, a lot of powerful topics. Although I was kind of running around, so I didn't capture all of them, but I did capture some key moments because I've been to this conference every year, even from the time it was virtual. And every year there's some one key moment, the one touching moment that gets everyone. We first had, depending on how early you guys got up, because I saw the seating was a little empty early this morning, but early this morning we had some powerful poster presentations. So shout out to those that gave to those. We had highly innovative work from students and scholarly nurses, and they emphasized their contributions to advancing nursing research and practice. That's always important, research, scholarship, and practice. We also had a powerful panel discussion. It was on disability advocacy, and that was something that was powerful. It addressed the importance of addressing equity for all, particularly advocating for those with disabilities. We had Andrea Dalzell, also known as the seated nurse, and we had Dr. Sabrina Al-Jamal Eddine. She gave us some spoken word, and she even sang. So that was very entertaining and very powerful. But the most powerful moment, and I'll ask Dr. Lena Gold, please stand. I know she's humble. So this is a remarkable woman. I've been following her on social media for years. She's always inspiring me. She's always dedicated to uplifting communities of color, especially with anesthesia. And there's a powerful moment for those who were not here when she reached out to Andrea Dalzell because she talked about her troubles with working in the ICU, getting a clinical position. Therefore, it would hinder her ability to become a CRNA one day. But Dr. Lena Gold opened that door for her and taught her to hook her up with multiple people, program directors. So just wanted to acknowledge her and thank her for that. Because this is what it's all about, uplifting one another, because we're all family. When one of us succeeds, all of us succeed, okay? So thank you. So we also had talked about policy to practice. Now it's recognizing the ability to translate policy into practical everyday nursing and the importance of understanding policy and knowing how to strategically plan for policy that impacts us as nurses. As we know, with the election year coming up, certain politicians are trying to hinder our ability to give optimal care, especially to underserved and underprivileged communities. So we, as nurses, have a voice. So we have to speak up. We cannot be silent. We may face some challenges, but we got to push through these challenges. So I liked how that panel discussion gave us strategies to how to overcome some of these challenges. So get involved in health policy if you're not already, because of health policy, you are where you are now. You can do certain things that you couldn't do 10 years ago, all right? And then we had a research panel on playing our own story, and this kind of talked about using our own narrative in nursing and research, and because research helps shape the future of healthcare through diverse voices. I think research is, in the past, only caters to one group of people, but when we have diverse voices, we get diverse outcomes. And then we talked about integrative approach to substance abuse and kind of reduce the stigma that's placed on certain communities. All of us are human, no matter what economic status, what ethnicity, gender, or relationship status. We're all human, and we have to work hard to remove these stigmas that can impact care, especially with bias, all right? And then we talked about understanding racial differences in skin function, how racial differences impact clinical care and health. And I wasn't available for some of these, but I know there was a topic on men's journey in pre-licensed nursing, and this talked about unique challenges and victories in the experience of men in nursing, enriching the profession's diversity. I know as an undergrad and a graduate nursing professor, men are lacking in the upper levels of graduate school. I can tell you, for the most part, this recent semester, the most I've seen is 2 men in advanced practice courses. So I always say, where are the men in nursing? That's why I'm glad to see a few men here. It's like I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store when I see doctoral prepared men, because when I was before DMPs of color, I only knew one doctoral prepared man of color. So this is very rewarding for me. But we have to encourage these men, especially even before they get into nursing school and while they're in nursing school, encourage them, let them know that we're there for them and we can mentor them and allow them to achieve the highest level of education. And then we had an academia panel, and they were doing a little, had some music and dancing going on. So I know some of us was moving in our seats and talked about the importance of leadership. And these were leaders from historical Black universities, and then we had directors and programs, we had deans, and they talked about their critical role in shaping nursing education. So we gleaned some key pointers from there. And then there was a Completing the Circle of Nursing that kind of talked about how nursing is interconnected across all disciplines and backgrounds, and emphasizing the importance of unity and functioning as a collective. And then we talked about vaccine advocacy, especially we know what happened during COVID and how access to vaccine impacted certain communities, access to the testing affected the communities. And it was actually a public health challenge. So being certain challenges primarily affected communities of color. And then most recently, nursing innovations, thinking outside the box. So this is a reminder that nursing's future is dependent by bold and creative solutions. And this is demonstrated by innovative approaches that you heard today. So I'll call on you when you go home. Aren't you guys inspired? Yes. So don't hold all that knowledge to yourself. Spread that knowledge and tell everyone about this conference. Because like I said, every year I see something different. I see something that moves me. This is like no other conference I ever been to, okay? Who's planning to come back next year? Who's planning to tell a friend to come? That's all I like to see. Because I want you to bring your transformative ideas, continue to encourage those that may be considering getting an advanced degree, the doctorate or PhD, encourage them, because all of them have important position or role in impacting nursing care, particularly among underserved and underprivileged communities. So tonight, who's ready to do some dancing and dining? Who got their shoes? So we're going to have our gala tonight at 6 p.m. A lot of people ask me questions where. It's on the second floor lobby, okay? So cocktail hour starts at 6 p.m. 6:30, okay. So time change. So, okay, that's good. That gives us a little bit of time to dress. You know, I got to iron my clothes a little bit, so that gives me extra time to do that. So at 6:30, we'll start the cocktail hour, and after that, we will have our cocktail hour, then we'll have our award ceremony, and then we'll eat, and then it's time to dance. It'll be vibes by DJ Later FX. So I'll give you guys time to get dressed, put on your fancy dresses, your fancy tuxedos, your shoes, your sneakers, and we're gonna have a good time. Like, once again, thank you guys. I enjoyed this. I'm talking to you guys, seeing your smiling faces, seeing all your friendly faces. I felt like I was around a lot of family. So appreciate it, and you guys have a good night. Which one? Oh, let me do the C. Hold on. All right, before you guys go, scan this for your CE. If you want your continuing education, and remember you have to do both days to get credit, so make sure you fill out the survey for both days.